The city lights blurred. Seen through the tinted windows of the speeding van, they looked like smeared streaks of color. Los Angeles, a city that never sleeps, pulsated with energy. But tonight, 4 figures inside the van were about to make the city hold its breath. Leading the pack was Max, the mastermind. His eyes, sharp as an eagle's, scanned the streets, his mind calculating every move. Next to him sat Maya, her fingers dancing across a keypad, the screen illuminating her focused face. She was the tech wizard, the one who could unlock any door, virtual or real. In the back, Jack, the muscle, cracked his knuckles, his imposing figure a silent promise of action. At the wheel, their getaway driver, Ethan, navigated the labyrinthine roads with the cool confidence of a seasoned racer. The air inside the van crackled with anticipation. They were a team, forged in the crucible of high-stakes operations, their individual skills honed to perfection, their trust in each other absolute. Tonight, they were about to execute the ultimate heist, a feat that would etch their names in the annals of legend. 5 minutes to target, Max announced, his voice calm but edged with steel. He unfurled a blueprint, the intricate lines and markings detailing the anatomy of their target, the First National Bank. Maya, how are we doing? Power grid's down, Maya reported, her fingers still flying across the keyboard. Cameras are blind. We have a 5-minute window. Her voice, though calm, held a tremor of excitement. Jack, you're on the door, Max continued, his gaze unwavering. Ethan, you know the drill. Get us in and out, clean and smooth. Jack nodded, his face grim, his hands already reaching for the tools of his trade. Ethan, his eyes fixed on the road, simply tapped the steering wheel twice, his silent acknowledgement. They were a well-oiled machine, each cog aware of its role, each movement precise, each word carrying the weight of their shared purpose. The van screeched to a halt in the alley behind the bank. It was now or never. They moved with the synchronized precision of a SWAT team, each step practiced, each action ingrained. Jack, using a specialized thermal lance, sliced through the reinforced steel door with surgical precision. The bank's interior was shrouded in darkness, the only light emanating from their high-powered flashlights. The air hung heavy with the scent of dust and the metallic tang of fear. They moved like shadows, their footsteps muffled by the thick carpet, their breathing shallow, their senses on high alert. Maya, her tablet glowing in the darkness, guided them through the maze of corridors, her voice a whisper. Vaults on the 3rd floor. West wing, she murmured, her fingers tracing the digital blueprint. Motion sensors are down, but there's a pressure-sensitive floor in the vault chamber. The vault door, a monolith of steel and chrome, stared back at them, its intricate locking mechanisms a challenge to their skills and audacity. Maya, working furiously, bypassed the electronic locks, her fingers a blur on the keypad. I'm in, she whispered, a triumphant gleam in her eyes. But it's a time lock. We have 4 minutes. Jack stepped forward, his massive frame radiating quiet power. He produced a custom-made hydraulic spreader, its steel jaws glinting in the flashlight's beam. With a grunt of exertion, he inserted the tool into the vault door's seams. The metal groaned in protest as the hydraulic pressure built, threatening to buckle under the strain. Max, his eyes glued to his chronometer, counted down the seconds. 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 1 minute. His voice was a metronome, marking the passage of time, each tick of the clock ratcheting up the tension. The vault door burst open with a deafening clang, revealing a treasure trove of riches, stacks of cash, gold bars, and priceless jewels. But their elation was short-lived. A figure emerged from the shadows, a gun glinting in his hand. It was Michael, the bank manager, their inside man, the one who had provided them with the blueprints and disabled the security systems. Sorry, boys, but I'm afraid this is where we part ways, Michael said, his voice laced with a chilling calmness. I never intended to share the spoils. This fortune is mine alone. He leveled the gun at Max, his finger tightening on the trigger. Betrayal. The word hung in the air, heavy as lead. Max, his face etched with surprise and anger, struggled to comprehend the treachery. They had trusted Michael, relied on his inside knowledge, treated him as one of their own. And now, he was holding them at gunpoint, their carefully laid plans crumbling around them. 30 seconds, Max said, his voice strained but steady. He knew time was running out, the police sirens already wailing in the distance. His mind raced, frantically searching for a way out of this deadly impasse. They were trapped, outmaneuvered, their prize within reach, yet unattainable. Maya, her face pale but resolute, stepped forward. Don't do this, Michael, she pleaded, her voice trembling. We can still work this out. We can all walk away with something. but her words fell on deaf ears. Michael's eyes, cold and calculating, held no trace of remorse. "Step aside, Maya," Michael snarled, his finger tightening on the trigger. "This doesn't concern you. Your part is done. Now get out of my way." He gestured with the gun, his gaze fixed on the mountains of wealth behind them. Suddenly, a roar split the air. Ethan, who had remained silent throughout the ordeal, slammed the van into the bank's glass facade, shattering the silence and sending shards of glass flying. The impact sent Michael sprawling, his gun clattering across the floor. In the ensuing chaos, Jack reacted with lightning speed. He lunged at Michael, disarming him with a swift, brutal move. The fight was over before it began. Michael subdued, his dreams of riches dashed against the unforgiving reality of his betrayal. With the immediate threat neutralized, Max wasted no time. "Ethan, grab the loot. Maya, clear the system. Jack, secure the perimeter. We have less than a minute." They moved with practiced efficiency, their adrenaline pumping, their years of training kicking in. As the police sirens grew louder, the team piled into the van, their pockets stuffed with diamonds, their bags overflowing with cash. Ethan, with a screech of tires, sped away from the scene, leaving behind the shattered remnants of their audacious heist. They had pulled it off against all odds. They had faced betrayal, stared death in the face, and emerged victorious. But the victory felt hollow, tainted by the treachery they had encountered. The trust, once unbreakable, was now fractured. As the city lights streaked past, Max knew that nothing would ever be the same. They had danced with the devil and lived to tell the tale. But the scars of that dance would remain, a constant reminder of the price of ambition and the fragility of trust.